Every time you glance at a daily horoscope, you are connecting to an ancient river of thought, one that stretches back nearly 4,000 years. But the stream you're dipping into today is vastly different from its source. Modern astrology is personal insight. Understanding your personality, your love life, your career bears little resemblance to its earliest form. It wasn't about you, not your daily mood or whether you should ask for a raise. It was about the fate of kings and kingdoms, a cosmic report for the most powerful people on Earth. This story begins not in a newspaper column but on clay tablets under the Mesopotamian sky. Imagine a priest scribe in ancient Babylon. Your temple is an observatory. Your gods reside in the heavens, their intentions written in planetary movements. The sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn were celestial messengers. Their paths across the night sky, their brightness, their conjunctions, were read as omens. A blood-red eclipse might foretell a battlefield defeat. A comet could signal the death of a monarch. This was a state-level enterprise, a cosmic intelligence agency for the empire. The ancient skywatchers worked systematically. They compiled vast libraries of observations, the most famous of these being Enuma Anu Enlil. It was a database of if-then statements. If the moon has a halo and Jupiter stands within it, then the king will be besieged. These were not personal trait predictions. They were warnings and endorsements about harvests, floods, wars, and royal succession. The sky was a political theater, the planets its actors, directing civilization's drama. The 12-sign zodiac as we know it didn't exist yet. Babylonians identified constellations along the ecliptic, the path the sun appears to take, and treated star patterns as significant. Dividing the path into 12 neat segments for personal horoscopes came much later. Their focus, a planet's visibility, its stationing, and its relationship to the moon. The shift from national omen to personal destiny was a revolution in thought. It required a unique cosmic melting pot. The traditions of Mesopotamia traveled westward. They met the philosophical and mathematical genius of the Greeks and the mystical beliefs of the Egyptians. Sometime after Alexander the Great's conquests, these streams merged. Babylonian observation, Egyptian symbolism, Greek geometry. In bustling, multicultural Hellenistic cities like Alexandria, a new kind of astrology was forged, called horoscopic astrology. The Greeks brought order and mathematical elegance to Babylonian observations. They rationalized the cluttered band of constellations along the ecliptic. They divided the 360-degree circle into 12 30-degree slices to match their calendar. These became the 12 signs of the zodiac. This was a crucial conceptual leap. The signs were no longer tied to abnormal visible constellations. They became a measure of space and time, beginning from the vernal equinox, the first day of spring. This is the tropical zodiac, a system based on the seasons, not the distant stars. The new system needed a user manual. That text was the Tetrabiblos by astrologist Claudius Ptolemy, working from the Library of Alexandria. Ptolemy laid out the geocentric model that dominated for 1400 years. In the Tetrabiblos, he applied the same rigor to astrology and explained how to cast a birth chart, planets, signs, houses. He established the framework for Western astrology that is still in use today. For the first time, astrology was democratized. It was no longer just for the king, it was for anyone who knew the moment of their birth. The horoscope, from the Greek horoskopos, meaning hour watcher, was a map of the heavens at the precise moment a person took their first breath. It was believed to reveal an individual's character, strengths, weaknesses, the arc of their life's journey. The planets were no longer just grand omens for empires, they were now intimate weavers of personal fate. The cosmos had leaned in to whisper secrets to every single one of us. Just as this new personal astrology was cementing its place in the Roman Empire, history took another sharp turn. With the fall of Rome and the rise of a Christian Europe hostile to pagan divination, Hellenistic astrology faced extinction. The great texts were lost, observatories fell into disuse, and casting horoscopes was nearly forgotten in the West. For centuries, the cosmic conversation that began in Mesopotamia and flourished in Alexandria went silent across Europe. But the knowledge was not destroyed, it had traveled. While Europe sank into the Dark Ages, the Islamic world ignited a golden age in Baghdad and Damascus. Scholars translated the great works of Greek, Persian, and Indian thinkers into Arabic. Ptolemy's Tetrabiblos and other major texts were preserved and refined. Islamic scholars were innovators, developing new mathematical techniques, invented instruments like the astrolabe, and compiling vast astronomical tables. By the 12th century, this knowledge flowed back into Europe through Spain and Sicily. Arabic texts were translated into Latin. Europeans rediscovered Ptolemy and the horoscope. Astrology enjoyed a renaissance taught in universities, and astrologers advised popes, emperors, and merchants. It was seen as a practical use of the highest science at that time, astronomy. To know the stars was to know your place in the universe. But the union didn't last. The astronomers of the scientific revolution, Copernicus, Galileo, and Kepler, changed everything. The Earth lost its central place. Planets were revealed as physical worlds governed by universal laws. With telescopes and physics, astronomy diverged from its ancient twin. Astrology, rooted in a symbolic geocentric view, was increasingly dismissed as superstition. After its split from astronomy, astrology did not vanish, it simply went underground. Its return wasn't in a university, not in a royal court, but on the pages of a newspaper. The sun sign column, simple and accessible, was a modern invention, a 20th century media phenomenon. The key figure, British astrologer R.H. Naylor. In 1930, he wrote a horoscope for newborn Princess Margaret. He predicted her life events and added a general forecast for everyone born that week that was wildly popular. Newspapers saw its commercial potential. They asked Naylor for a regular column. He simplified, a system based on one sun sign, the zodiac sign the sun occupied at birth. It radically simplified traditional horoscopy, moon, planets, ascendant. It worked. It was easy to understand, no complicated calculations, and it gave readers a personal cosmic identity. Sun sign astrology was born, and soon became a global media staple. A new kind of astrology emerged: psychology, self-help, and daily advice. It wasn't about predicting death or forecasting wars. It taught people to navigate relationship dynamics, career choices, and personal moods. Language shifted. Fate turned into potential. Rigid prediction transformed to gentle guidance. The daily horoscope became a small ritual for millions. A moment to look at life through a cosmic lens. Accessibility propelled astrology into popular culture. The newspaper boom turned a diagnostic tool into mass market culture, flattened an intricate system into 12 profiles, and made astrology more widespread than ever. Ancient Babylonian priests who read the skies for kings could never have imagined this. Millions using it to decide if it's a good day to fall in love or to ask for a promotion. The cosmos, once for the powerful, now belonged to everyone. The modern conversation around astrology often gets tangled in a debate that goes right back to its Hellenistic roots, the zodiac itself. You may have heard of a 13th sign, Ophiuchus, and the claim that your real sign has changed. This confusion stems from the difference between the two main zodiacal systems. Most Western astrology uses the tropical zodiac, established by Ptolemy. It's a system based on the seasons, not the stars. It divides the sky into 12 30-degree signs starting from the vernal equinox, the first day of spring. Your sun sign is determined by the time of year you were born, not by which constellation the sun was literally in front of. The other system used by Vedic and some other astrologers is the sidereal zodiac. This system is tied to the fixed positions of the constellations as they appear in the sky. Because of a wobble in the Earth's axis called precession, the constellations have drifted from their alignment with the seasons over the last 2,000 years. So, the sidereal zodiac accounts for this drift, which is why your sidereal sign might be different from your tropical one. The 13th sign confusion arises because the sun does pass through the constellation Ophiuchus, but since astrology uses 12 equal divisions of the sky, there's just no room for it in either the tropical or sidereal zodiac wheel. It's an astronomical fact, but not an astrological one. So what is the story of astrology? It is a story of transformation, a grand journey of an idea through time and culture. It began as a tool of statecraft, a way for ancient empires to read the intentions of the gods in the sky and secure their collective future. The heavens spoke of war, famine, and the fate of nations. It was a practice of immense public importance, reserved for the powerful. This ancient art was then revolutionized by a fusion of cultures, creating a deeply personal system for charting an individual's life path, a map of the soul given to each person at birth. From there, it was saved from oblivion, elevated to a high science, and then challenged by a new vision of the cosmos. Finally, in our own time, it has been reborn as a popular tool for self-discovery and psychological reflection, a daily ritual connecting millions to a sense of cosmic belonging. What is your zodiac sign? Let me know in the comments, and check out my page for more astrology insights.